Hello, everybody. It's Deborah Razzo here with the Women's Real Estate Network, and I have the pleasure of introducing you to Ashley Romiti today. Ashley has come on because we have a REN Spotlight. It's just a 1 hour meeting. It's going to happen next Wednesday, and Ashley's going to talk to us about 1031 exchanges. For those of you that don't know, it's a really powerful tool if you get capital gains. But before we get into that, I want to just talk to Ashley a little bit about, this is a very unique area that you're specializing in. So, tell us, and I know that you've done a ton of commercial work. So tell us a little bit about your background and how you came to specialize in this.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, thank you for having me, and hello to everyone out there. I'm Ashley Romiti. So I specialize in 1031 exchanges and DST investments. The 1031 exchange is a very unique tool, like Deborah said, for deferring capital gains, and something that I just personally sort of fell into, and I find it to be so valuable for everyone that I work with. It was about 12 years ago that I got into investment sales and commercial real estate. And, I was going on meetings and I looked really young and no one would take me seriously. So I strategized.
Okay, so this was 12 years ago. You look really young to me right now.
Trust me, I still try to do everything on the phone first because people look at me and they're like, are you in college? But I take it as a compliment now. So,
absolutely.
I can't complain that I'm staying like this, but yeah, so I just came up with a strategy on how I could stay in the commercial real estate realm and build my business without going on too many in-person meetings. And this was before Zoom and all the stuff that we all learned through COVID. And so I just started helping investors do 1031 exchanges. What the strategy was they would sell their commercial, generally multifamily properties in California, and we would help them identify passive investments outside of California. So we would use the 1031 exchange, and then we'd also really try to find, where would it be most beneficial for them to place their capital when exchanging out of California.
So I have to say that my background is from very blue collar family, right? So when somebody started telling me about like 1031 exchanges, right? I was like, what is that? Like, I think for the common person, they don't understand that if you even have rentals, you don't have to have a multifamily commercial property to do a 1031 exchange. You could have a rental that a single family rental, something that you've had. And when you sell that rental, you have a capital gains event happen, right? And Lord knows the government gets their portion of any of our capital gains, but there's a loophole, right? There's a loophole, like best kept secret loophole, and that's a 1031 exchange. So now I know that we're not going to get into this right now. There's a lot of rules involved in a 1031, true?
Yes, and you must follow all of the rules. IRS is not forgiving on that.
Right. Okay. So, if you're interested in this technique or learning more about this technique, you're going to need to come next week. It's next Wednesday, August 30th. And because she's going to outline who qualifies, I'm sure, like who qualifies, and the rules. There's going to be rules to follow, but you follow the rules and then you're not paying Uncle Sam a bunch of taxes, right?
Yeah, and I want to touch on what you just said. It's a 1031 is for everyone. So if you're out there and you own any real estate, it's a good resource to just know and understand as you develop your portfolio. So yeah, join us if you can.
Right. Yeah. It's anybody who's started to accumulate your portfolio. And especially if you're thinking, well, where is this portfolio going to take me? Or maybe you have a property that isn't performing that well. And you're thinking about, selling, once you sell, and if you've had that property for any length of time, you're going to have a capital gains occurrence, so it's really worth it to figure out what to do with that. And I think that with the more vehicles that you have at your hands, like the more you learn about these kind of things, the more flexibility and freedom you have in your life, right? And then, I know there's this whole process involved with identifying your next investment from one investment out of another. Is that true?
Yep. And there's, rules and regulations on what you need to follow. So if you do want to do a 1031, just making sure you're aware of those timelines and rules. That's going to be one of the most important of a 1031.
So, like Ashley said, even though she doesn't look old enough to know all of this,
thank you. I'm working on it.
She does. She's been in commercial real estate for a long time. She's helped many people go through this process, and she's going to share this process with us next week. That's Wednesday, August 30th at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you're interested in finding out more about this process, go to redspotlight.com and register and join us. And so, Ashley, anything else you want to say?
Yeah, just one more thing. So 1031 exchange is available to investors across the country. So no matter where you're at, it's a great tool to come and learn about.
Fabulous. Hopefully then everybody out there will see you next Wednesday, August 30th at 5 p.m. Go to renspotlight.com and register now. All right. Can't wait to see you all. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.